Hi, welcome back. This is Michael here. I'm an Australian lawyer, and today we are not going to talk about migration, but we talk about the contract in business sale. So what happened is, recently we have seen a news on the social media talking about a madam who signed a contract with another one. We call it P, and then she bought a brothel. However, after some time, she found that the business is not under her name, and the contract was broken. The relationship was broken between the parties. At the end, the vendor of the contract actually say that the purchaser actually did not perform the contract. That's why he's obligated, or he's got the right not to transfer the business to under her name. So we're going to talk about this today. Before that, we're going to recall what's happening. So we've seen that in this issue, three main issues. The first issue is whether the contract is valid. The second issue is Mr. P said he got the evidence to say purchaser has not performed the contract completely. That's why he can rescind the contract or not perform the contract further. So the non-performance, is it really serious, really severe, so that the vendor can not to perform the contract. Third issue is whether the contract in Australia is really important. Is a framework of the transaction, so it's very complicated and can be very serious. So we're going to talk about the first one, the Chinese handwritten contract. Is it a valid contract in Australia? I say we have to go back to the basic of the contract, the four elements. The first element is the agreement, offer and acceptance. Once you got the offer and the party B got to accept the offer, so this is offer and acceptance. So we're not going to talk about in detail what's offer, what's acceptance, but there must be an offer and acceptance to have an agreement. Agreement is the first element of the contract. The second one is the intention. Both parties must have intention to trade in the contract or to make the contract. So if the intention is not clear, or there's no intention for either party, the contract is not valid. The third element is the consideration. There must be consideration in the contract. It might be a dollar sign, it might be some sort of duties. In return, you perform the contract. So in the context of business sale, of course, you sell the business and then the purchaser gives you a certain amount of money. That's the consideration. The last issue is the certainty. The terms of and condition of the contract must be certain. So if there's uncertainty, there might invalidate the contract. However, whatever I said here, I didn't mention anything about the formality. So there's no way, there's no form of contract we have to comply with so that the contract can be valid or not. However, there's one contract in Australia. You have to follow the format of the contract, which is the sale of property. The sale of property contract must be written. However, the other contract can be anything. It can be like you give one sentence to your partner saying that, yeah, just marry me, I'm going to buy you the ring. Okay, that's the contract if they accept it. So simple, it can be verbal, but it must have evidence to prove the contract, to prove the agreement. The second issue of this matter will be whether Mr. P's non-performance of the contract or not to transfer the business to the purchaser, is it really legal? Is it really legitimate? So Mr. P said he got the evidence to show he got the right not to transfer the business to the purchaser, Ms. Penn, because Ms. Penn did not perform the contract, did not perform the obligation. So the issue here is whether Mr. P's allegation of Ms. Penn's non-performance of the contract is so severe to the extent that Mr. P got the right to rescind the contract or not to perform the contract. Is the termination of the contract really legitimate? So in Australia, not all the non-performance of the contract or obligations can arise to the termination of contract. If the contract is not terminated legally, both parties still have to perform the contract until the termination of the contract or the expiry of the contract. So if Mr. P's allegation is not so severe or is not to the extent that it's so severe to terminate the contract, Mr. P's non-performance of contract is not legal, so that Ms. Penn can protect her right to claim the damage. So that's really important. So according to those two main issues, we can see that the contract in Australia could be very complicated. You got to know what's your obligation, what's your duties under the contract. In terms of the sales of business, we strongly recommend that you engage a professional to investigate, to perform the due diligence before you sign the contract, or to write a contract to negotiate the term and condition on the contract to protect yourself. No matter you are the purchaser or the vendor, it is really important. Without the contract, you are not able to protect yourself or you lose money. I understand that a lot of people, they try to avoid the legal cost to save some money. However, we can see that if you save some money, a little money on the legal cost, you might encounter a big damage in the long run. So engage an accountant, engage a lawyer to do the business sales for you or to buy the business. That's all for today. If you like this video, please subscribe our channel and give us a thumbs up. So I'll see you next time. Bye bye.